everybody, and thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live here at the Elephant Yard. I'm Trezana Moreno, and I am lucky enough to get to work here at the amazing Houston Zoo. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to introduce you to the newest members of our elephant herd, but before I do, I want to let you know about an exciting collaboration that we have coming up here at the Houston Zoo. Legacy Community Health has a long history of caring for the greater Houston community, from pregnancy to kids' pediatric care. And the zoo is going to work with Legacy to bring you updates on the care that we give our young elephants during their very first year of their life. You'll be able to follow along as these elephants grow while you learn about the highest quality of care that we give animals here at the zoo, just like Legacy helps care for parents and their kids. So make sure to watch out for that right here on Facebook Live over the next few months. Enough of that. I am now going to turn it over to Miriam, who is going to introduce you guys to Teddy and Winnie. Thanks so much for joining us, Miriam.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Houston Zoo in the McNair Asian Elephant Habitat. My name is Miriam and I'm an elephant keeper here. I would like to show you guys our first glimpse of, at least on Facebook Live, of Teddy and Winnie, our two newest baby elephants that were born here in the last couple of months. So we were lucky enough to have two babies born here. So as you can see, one is a girl, one is a boy. Teddy is our little boy, and he was born on May 16th, and Winnie is actually his niece, and she was born on March 10th. So this is a family unit that we have here right now. So we have a mom, Tess, who is Teddy's mom, and then her daughter, Tupelo, who's actually Winnie's mom, and then another sister named Tilly. So these little kids are getting to the point where they're starting to play with each other. So you might see them interact a lot more with each other now that they're getting to be a little bit older. The one right in front of you is Teddy. It's a little hard to tell them apart, and it's going to get increasingly harder to tell them apart as they get older. But right now, Teddy has a bit of a curl to his tail. So I'm not sure if you can see that on the video, but he actually came out when he was born, and he had a little curly tail. So the one that's facing you right now is actually Winnie. Even though Winnie is about 2 months older than her uncle Teddy, she's actually only about 100 pounds heavier than him, and about the same height as well. So our last weight that we got on these babies, Winnie weighed about 543 pounds and Teddy weighed 453 pounds. So they look pretty small, but they're actually pretty heavy already. When they were born, Teddy weighed 381 pounds and Winnie was about 284 pounds. So they typically are going to gain about 2 to 3 pounds per day, and that's going to come from nursing. So they're going to nurse for about till they're about 2 to 3 years old. So they'll nurse for quite a long time. And then as soon as they start kind of getting interested in some food items, we'll start offering that to them, and then we can start training with them. So it looks like they're going to kind of head out a little bit over there. So we're going to start with some questions. So first question is, do Teddy and Winnie cuddle at night? So actually, these guys are going to stay in the barn overnight, and so they're actually separated into different stalls. So they're going to stay with their each mom. So they're not going to have access to each other overnight, but out in the yard they'll definitely kind of lay down next to each other sometimes, and they'll play across in the stall as well.
How old is Teddy?
So Teddy was born on May 16th, so he's a little over about a month and a half right now. And Winnie is about 2 months older than him, so she is close to 3 months old. So again, this one that you're looking at right now is Winnie. She's our little girl, and she has her mom behind her named Tupelo, and Tupelo is a 10-year-old female. So Olga wants to know, do they have any toys? So yeah, they have a lot of stuff that's available in the yard for them to play with. So things like big tires, kind of big heavy balls, fire hose. But right now, for these little guys, they actually just enjoy playing with each other and playing with their older siblings as well. Andrew wants to know, what do they eat? So since these little babies are still a few months old, they're going to primarily get their nutrition from nursing. So Winnie is starting to get some teeth in, so she's actually starting to get interested in a little bit of food. So we've been offering her some little bites of bread and mashed banana, basically really soft food items. And then that's really great because as she continues to show interest in food, then we can start training with her. So training is something that's really important that we do here at the Houston Zoo. It allows us to take really good care of them throughout their lifetime. So as soon as we can kind of get them interested in that and interested in us, we can begin that process. Julie wants to know, what is the neatest part about being a keeper? So obviously, it's really exciting that we've had these two babies being born at the same time. Seeing them grow up and being able to, eventually work with them as they continue to get older is really, really cool. Right now, we actually have 5 younger elephants that are all under the age of 5 years old. So it's kind of an unprecedented time at the Houston Zoo right now. So if you have not come out to see and visit, I highly encourage you to do so. All of our younger babies are really fun to watch, and they play together really well. So it's a good opportunity to come out and see that. So when they're first born, these little ones are gonna kind of hang out with their mom for the first couple of days. We want to look for certain kind of milestones that they're hitting, making sure they're nursing okay, making sure they're sleeping okay, they're bonding with mom okay before they're introduced to the rest of the elephants. So they're kind of focused on that, and then eventually when they go out in the yard, they get to meet the other elephants and then interact with them. So I have a question here. Are they endangered? Yes, Asian elephants are an endangered species. So there's only about 40 to 60,000 Asian elephants left in the wild. So they're actually more endangered than African elephants. So we do a lot of work here at Houston Zoo to help kind of encourage taking care of the species in the wild. So we have a partnership and we support them with information and funds in Borneo, and we also help in planting trees in Southeast Asia to kind of help in helping those reforestation projects. So like I mentioned before, after they kind of bond with their mom, they get introduced to everybody, they get to come out in the yard and kind of hang out there, and then that's when you're going to see them kind of start playing with each other a little bit more. So Supriya wants to know, how much do they weigh? So Winnie, who's the one in front of us right now, she weighs about 543 pounds, and Teddy, who's actually her uncle, weighs about 453 pounds. So they look very similar in size, but Winnie is a little girl, so she's probably going to be a little bit less heavier than Teddy as they continue to grow, and so Teddy will eventually surpass her both in height and in weight. Carol is asking, how well do they see? So their sight is not their best sense, but they still can see pretty well. So if we drop things on the ground for them, they can probably use sense of smell as well as their sight to kind of find it, even if it's a small food item. Another important thing that we're seeing as they continue to grow and get older is not only that they're interacting well with each other, but that they're interacting well with us as keepers. So we want to make sure that they are comfortable with us as they continue to get older, so that we can provide them with the best medical and veterinary care and regular care that they need as they continue to grow. Carol is asking, do they like water? Yes. So right now our pool is lowered because of our little babies, so we don't want them to get too far in there and get a little, nervous and concerned. So we keep it at a lower level so that they have the option to kind of go down there if they would like to, splash around. But we will bring out hoses. We will spray them down. They love bath time usually. So they're very, very water friendly. So recently both Winnie and Teddy have started to show more interest in playing with each other. I think they're kind of figuring out that they're both baby elephants and they're both about the same size, so they can actually play with each other really, really well. That includes also, as you can see, stepping on each other. But you might also see them kind of playing with their older siblings, on occasion. So like I said, we have 5 younger elephants under the age of 5. So we have an almost 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So as they continue to grow, they're kind of going to be figuring out where they are land in that kind of a role of sibling or a niece or nephew. Ellie wants to know, why do the older elephants block the babies? So a lot of that is because of protection. So they're gonna stand where either they're gonna offer cover for the babies for sun and things like that, or they're gonna just in case they feel like there's any kind of threat or anything. This is a natural behavior that they would do in the wild, protect those babies, put them in the middle if they feel like something is dangerous out there. Nick wants to know, how is Nelson doing now that he knows he's not the baby anymore? So we're having some, they're working it out. Nelson hangs out with his bigger sister Joy. So he's still got a friend over there. He doesn't really hang out with Tess or Tupelo, but he will interact with the little ones on occasion. So if they venture over to him or they get a little bit further away from mom, he will definitely interact with them and go and say hi. Again, as they get older, they'll have more opportunities to play together, but he doesn't seem to be that upset that he's not the little baby anymore. Michael wants to know, do they have teeth? So elephants, Asian elephants do have teeth. They have 4 teeth in their mouth. These little babies though, Winnie has little tiny teeth coming in, but I do not believe that Teddy's teeth have started to come in yet. So right now, their primary source of nutrition is going to be nursing milk from their mom. And then as their teeth come in, they will start getting interested in little bits of hay, little bits of bread, little bits of bananas, softer food items. So Gloria wants to know, how does their skin feel? So that's it's a difficult question. Some people say that it feels like a hairy basketball. It's usually people say that it's not what they expect it feels like. It's softer than I think people assume, but they do have, it's hard to see, but they have lots of hairs on their body, and so those are pretty thick and coarse and prickly sometimes. So those feel a little bit different, but their skin itself is actually soft. So Ember wants to know, why do they sometimes pull up one leg? So they're just relaxing. They may take a load off one of their legs. So the adults are super heavy. Tess is the mom. She weighs about 8,000 pounds. So she's just shifting her weight around. Just like if you were standing in one spot for one time, you shift your weight around. So that's what they're doing. How long do they nurse? So they'll nurse until they're about 2 to 3 years old. The nursing frequency varies with baby to baby, but they'll latch on anywhere from a few seconds to a minute or so. So we have a good shot of Teddy nursing right now. He's with his mom, Tess. Tess is one of our breeding elephants. She's been here since 2008 at the Houston Zoo, and she is going to be 37 years old tomorrow. It's her birthday. Happy early birthday, Tess. So Teddy is Tess's 4th calf that is here at the Houston Zoo. She's also mom to Tucker, Tupelo, and Tilly. So 2 girls and 2 boys. All the T names belong to her. So easy way to know which baby belongs to which mom. So a question, how can you guys help save these elephants in the wild? Coming to the Houston Zoo is a great way to do that. Part of your ticket proceeds go to help fund different projects that we support over in range countries. I mentioned Borneo before, so we actually offer support and funding to a lady over there who's working to help the Borneo elephants, a population of elephants over there. How long do they live? Question coming in. So average lifespan for an Asian elephant is about 46 years old, but they can live into their 60s and 70s. Our oldest elephant that we have here is 55 years old. His name is Thailand, and he's actually Teddy's dad. He is our breeding male. So right now you can't see him on exhibit, but every now and then he is out in our bull yard. But he's our primary breeding male. Tess is our breeding female, and then Shawnee, who is Nelson and Joy's mom, is our other breeding female. And then Tupelo, Winnie's mom, is now of breeding age as well. So Winnie was Tupelo's first calf. We actually did artificial insemination for her because she's related to every male elephant that is here at Houston Zoo. So Winnie's dad is actually an elephant at the Denver Zoo named Bodie. So it's very exciting that we have that relationship with them now. Question, can you talk about enrichment? So it's really fun to build enrichment for elephants, but you kind of got to make sure that it's kind of tear-proof or destruction-proof. So we use a lot of harder materials like tires, fire hose. We can braid fire hose. That's what we would consider to be toys. And then we also do, anytime we do training and work with them one-on-one, that can be considered enrichment because they really like that attention. They can get different browse items, which is additional food items, so things like bamboo, branches, sticks, things like that. And then anytime we do switch up the yards, that can be social enrichment, so having them interact with different elephants throughout their day is really good for them as well. So multiple ways that we can do enrichment for our Asian elephants here. So we got some really cute, hopefully you guys are tuning in, you got some really cute views of these babies. They're being really adorable right now. I love that they're playing with each other a lot more, interacting with each other a lot more, and as they get older, hopefully that will continue and they'll be best friends. So I just want to say thanks to Legacy Community Help for collaborating with us. We look forward to the next few months. Thank you all for tuning in to this Facebook Live, and please join us next week for the next one.